me. I'm not controversial, I'm crumptoversial. And it's a horrible rainy day out today, so I'm going to do a point of view. So, the point of view today is going to be drunk over a pint of Knights Vintage Herefordshire Cider. Okay, it's 8.4%. It's brewed by Aston Manor Breweries, who are actually in Star-upon-Severn, which is in Worcestershire, but I'd say it's been pressed and sourced in Herefordshire, the home of cider. So it's got to be pretty good. We're going to try 8.4%, so that's a good percentage. So it's definitely going to be at vintage standard. So we're going to pour this in a minute, and we're going to have a point of view, and I'm going to talk briefly about the inflation of car insurance. So there it is. Like I say, 8.4%. No frills badging on the bottle. It's quite plain and left to sort of a traditional standard look. It's a medium dry. So I'm just going to crack it open. A little bit of gas air coming out, so that's a good sound. Oh yes, a strong aroma, very oaky smell, so which you get with a good vintage. Yeah, it's got a lovely smell to it, nice taint. So we're going to pour that into a glass and see how it pours. There we go. Plenty of life in it. It's bubbling up nicely. Oop. Very lively for cider. Threw up a good head, now it's settling down. Plenty of sparkle in it. And I can smell the aroma from here now it's an open glass. Make sure every drop's there, because being crumptoversial, I don't like waste, so make sure. It's currently at £1.75 a bottle at Tesco. So for a vintage cider, £1.75, 8.4%. You can't really go wrong. And from Tesco, that is a good value. So there we are. I'm going to put that down there and let you all take a look at the cider in the glass. So there it is. It's quite a good sort of autumn dark gold, that, isn't it? Great colour for a cider. Beautiful. Like I say, lots of bubbles in it. You can see them rising. So there's plenty of life in it. I just can't wait to have a sip of it. So, yeah. Now it's a medium dry. but your first taste sensation is quite sweet, actually. Surprisingly sweeter than I thought it'd be. Very nice. And then you get a real oak, that sort of woody undertone taste, aftertaste, and lots of fizz in it. That's really what you need, especially in the summer. Helps quench that thirst. It is quite smooth. It's not a real hard dry cider. And that, it's quite satisfying. I'm going to digest this as I now tell you what I think about car insurance at the moment. And it's not just yourselves I want to talk about car insurance. I think it's needed as a message to the banks and insurance companies that are ripping the public off at the moment. It's been gradually going up, and to someone of my age, who's been driving now for best part of 40 years. So when I passed my test when I was 17, it cost me a couple £100 to insure my car. And drivers now, these youngsters, I feel sorry for them. They're passing their test now, and it's several £1,000s to insure an old banger that's not even worth half that amount. It's just bizarre. The insurance companies are just ripping the people off, and you know, it is a rip-off. These insurance companies, you think how many cars on the road, this money goes into a pool, they pull it into the banks. I mean, most are underwritten by Lloyd's anyway, so the banks make the money, they invest it, they make money on our money that goes in. That's a well-known fact, and yet they make excuse after excuse. Years ago it was about all the hot hatches that were getting stolen, but that's not happening in the fad it was now. And then they make other excuses like the floods and everything. And the latest excuse is the price of fuel. I mean, you can't make it up. Now, floods and all this has always happened. I mean, so why was insurance so low when I was young, and you know, not in the percentage of inflation and inflated prices of insurance now? I don't know. And my insurance come down and down the older I got and the more experienced I got, and yet it's gone up. My insurance went up by about 30% last time, and I shop around, and there's no loyalty anymore. I have to keep changing insurance companies because they're not loyal anymore. So I have to swap around and shop around on Go Compare or whatever and get the best price I can, where I'd rather be loyal, and the insurance companies don't want to be. It's all like HGV driver or someone very experienced gets penalised, yet a nurse or someone who does less driving, being a stressful day in the hospital, so might not be on the job in hand of driving home, gets cheaper insurance. How's that work? It's strange. You try it. Go and say you're a nurse and put your insurance details in. You'll get cheaper insurance than being a professional driver. Bizarre. Insurance companies really haven't got a clue. They're in their ivory towers up there, just trotting around in the computer, adding up numbers, and just trying to get commission, I think, and ripping people off. I used to go to brokers, and I could see they were ripping me off. So now I go to Go Compare. So, but I'm going off subject now because the main line of this video is the fact that it's gone up, and we're talking 50%. In the last 12 months, the reports of insurance gone up by 50%, and it's not on. We're in a time of, hard times, financially for a lot of people. And insurance companies are just ploughing more pain into the motorist. And all they're doing is making money. It's not on, and it's time that you know, us as general public, we fight back and say enough is enough. As you know, so where do we go from here? You know, something's got to be done. And I'd like, you know, people to leave their comments, and I'd like an actual insurance broker or insurance company leave a comment and come with a valid excuse of why you've put the prices up like they have, because I bet you can't come out with a decent reply, because it's too obvious. You are ripping the public off, and enough is enough. So that's my point of view today. Car insurance, the inflation of car insurance has just gone too far. You know, and like I say, you know, experienced as you got older and older, your car insurance come down, and now that's stopped happening as well. And, you know, I haven't had an accident or a conviction for years and years, so I don't see why I'm penalised. And, you know, there are many people like myself in the same situation scratching their heads on this one. Anyway, back to the cider. Settled down a bit. I'll give it, you know, a good few minutes while I've been gambling on with the insurance. Let's see how it's still tasting and how lively it still is. Yeah. There's still plenty of fizz in it. The fizz has died down a bit as I've drunk half a glass and it's settled down. But it is, do you know, that's a really tasty pint, £1.75. When I do this review, I've really got to take that price into consideration. 8.4% vintage cider, £1.75 a bottle from Tesco. I haven't seen it many other places, but it's brewed by Aston, so no doubt they have dispatched it to other places. What am I going to give it? Have another sip, let's see. Any excuse for another sip, eh? And it's certainly going down quick, isn't it? You know. So it's going to cost me more than £1.75 because I need a few bottles of this. But taste, value for money, and, you know, the colour, everything is adding up to a controversial star rating of 4 stars. Now, like I say, leave a comment, and, you know, please shop around for your car insurance. Go on GoPro Compare or anything. I never take the first offer, and never take the first offer from your car insurance company, because they will put it up. There's no loyalty in this world anymore. Unfortunately, it's a sad thing, but that's a fact. And I will do another review another time. Please like, please subscribe, and, you know, stay safe, and bye for now.